a sword.
Mimir.
I meant that literally. Shame on you. She made the best swords in all the Isles and had big dreams.
Tak opět do dalšího kata Ragnarok, dokončování dalších velkých bossů. Teď jsme v Alheimu a dneska nám zabít dva poslední berserkry, aby jsme odemkli krále.
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean
another half-goofer.
Odd. It looks as though the Light Elves sealed off this section of the Barrens. Why?
Luckily for us, a very considerate goddess has enhanced our magic chisel, and we can unseal it.
My, that is lucky.
The forbidden salves lay beyond.
Contested territory, according to Bela, and another storm to endure.
I remember when Freya and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
Takže musíme zabít dva berserkry a
healing this land will take more than a pair of singing half-goofer. But I have to believe in the long run we're doing right well.
Včera se mi strašně nezařilo. Pokud jsem umíral, to je špatný.
Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave! I see an entrance!
Jo, přesně. A pak uradovaná hejmu. Jinak gratuluju dobění krále. Si říkáš, že to má nějak 40 měsíčů. Buď to posílala, nesl nervy, nebo použij proti zavu, ale druhá možnost byla ta lepší, takže gratuluju ještě jednou.
An abandoned ancient settlement by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of all kind of light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by hive matter.
Aye, and as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped half-goofer for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
Jo, byl to nervy, no, ale jako nás to dobře.
But denser.
Red, left flank!
Jde tam, no. Ten vyrostl se čau, že na streamu. A těším se na Resident Evil 4.
Incoming poison up above!
Jo, já streamer, no. Bojím se.
Light elves don't often travel underneath the barrens, do they?
Territory changes hands often in Alfheim, or so it appears.
Big Beard did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
Good eye. Let's continue, shall we?
Ti rozumím, no. Rozumím, že to byla lepší to náladu, vidíš.
Breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate.
No, vidím, jak to... Jako jo, no 20 hodin to je dost, no, tak za pozor. Vidíme, jak já, no, spolu dovést dole.
I wonder if these two comprehend the choice they face in the spirit.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofgufa. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for. That our death has a purpose. That we can live on through our children.
To jo, no tak má nejtěžší, co bys chtěl, že?
Given another chance. I know what choice I will. Good. Almost there. Time to set it loose.
Aye. Back to the surface then.
Tak, funguje to.
The fate of these creatures. It reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold such a power. So the blacksmith used the flame.
Kratos, is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but, well, your stories...
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
Fair. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now, don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. She died trying to protect her from those who would open it.
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in Alfheim.
Time to end this storm.
If my stories are of no comfort, take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know. There is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they.
To jo. Vidíš to, Mimir, vidíš to? Vlastně se do země nevadí.
Song of the Sands. Wow. Didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more.
Díš tam, no. Ale ty bossy mi serou, vole. I tebe, vole, to je jasný. Hard gamer, ty jsi skurvený hard gamer, vole. To je Luky.
You don't have to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit barrens?
The hilt is drawn to the gravestone.
Je tady důvod. A tady.
Hjalti the Stolid.
Okay. Je tak moc dobrý začátek. Počkej, proč si změním toto na... Myslím, že... OK, trošku komplikovaný, ale dobrý.
I am reminded of our search for the Valkyries 2 winters ago.
I can see the similarities, aye.
There is one difference. With the Valkyries, you lacked spite.
Brother, I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't know the full tale.
I know how it feels to be wronged, and how it feels to achieve vengeance. I would hope to spare you the disappointment.
Aye.
OK, dalším mrtvé nejvole, nebo mrtvá, to je jedno. Tak. OK. Teď hurá do Vanheimu. OK.
A light elf statue in the desert. Odd.
On top of ancient elven ruins? I'd have to agree.
Se podívat, jak to mám. Kolik jsem tam napsal? Jo, Hjalti jsem napsal, OK. Ne, Netečná, to jsem zabil teďka. Jo, tohle tady. Tak. Hotovo, můžeme jít spát.
Mimir, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hell's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Krasfelger.
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Mimir, what exactly did you promise the large bird?
Oh, nothing too horrifying. It's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hell's Eagle wants to retire?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be
but enough of that for now.
We're heading back to Vanaheim?
There's work to be done. Helka seemed awfully eager to show us something. If we could only track her down. And what else? You asked us to explore the river delta with you. Perhaps it's time we did so.
Sounds like a plan.
look! Tracks from the olfactorily gifted hound. Seems we're on the right path.
Helka! Heal! Must be something she needs to show us.
More paw prints.
Little slobberball's quite the tracker. More of Helka's tracks. I dare say she's got as skilled a nose for hunting as you, brother.
Hers is superior. The eyes can lie. The nose cannot.
Jealous?
No.
Helka, wait! Don't know what I expected. More of Helka's tracks. What do you want us to see, Helka? Guess we'll find out.
Změníme to toto. To není dobrý, to není dobrý.
That must be Birger. She must want us to rescue him. Didn't think you'd be one to mount a rescue mission.
He saved our lives. We are indebted.
Ah, yes, you big softy. Should be easy to find Birger from up here.
The others were frightened of this place. We should be cautious.
On that note...
Dragons! You all right?
Yes. You?
Yes.
Well, he seemed angry. What do you suppose that means?
We are going the right way.
Wait. I know where we are. This used to be one of the most thriving settlements in the realm.
What became of it?
I don't know. It's been lifetimes since I've been here. The signal! Birger's still alive!
Not for long if that dragon has its way.
It will not.
Do you see what I'm seeing?
A bolt of lightning. But frozen.
Like the one made in my fight
Teď
with
musíme
Thor.
naplnit tu vodu,
Why would there be one just like it here in
tu
Vanaheim?
řeku, aby jsme mohli pokračovat, ale ten vlastně... Tady a tady nebo...
Oh, how flattering.
musíme jít tam. Asi.
Bear, what have you heard of the catastrophe that befell this place?
This is the first I've seen. How can this be? So many lives were lost. Maybe there are answers there in the crater.
Perhaps.
Up there, an eventide altar. In case we need to move the sun.
Vousatý jako by tak vidí. Mám se přesně. Tak jako bude na dlouho toto. Si vám tebe popcorn aspoň nebo tak. To bude na dlouho. Jsem náhodou, tak musíme obejít. Najít cestu. A to jsou tady to dobrý, to prostě mi trvalo.
This is the last.
What a shame. A river once ran through here, bringing life to all manner of flora and fauna.
What became of the river?
Odin dammed it up. Without the water, the Vanir were forced to abandon. Odin won a battle.
Between the droughts and the dragons, it's a wonder there's any life left here at all. Something rather large broke through here.
Stay alert. What became of Kvasir?
Ripped apart by his audience. Well, one man's audience. Well, Thor.
Thor. He never was one for the arts.
Big footprint.
Smartest man alive.
Well, you try making conversation with you sometime.
Behind you!
Logan! We can't get through with that bastard trying to bludgeon us!
Then we must get closer.
is. Odin's eyesore.
Let's go investigate, shall we? Bloody Odin. We could likely reach the other side of this canyon if there was still water running through it.
Raging arrow!
Should take us to the dam.
If we can release the water from the dam, it can gain us access to more of the crater.
And it saves the wildlife.
I was about to mention that.
Of course. Sisters and brothers. Priestesses and priests. When the Aesir attacked, they resorted to say their magic.
Another Dreki.
The native wildlife stands no chance against us. We must follow. Nothing good can come up. Maybe the crank wheel.
Surely that's unjammed the wheel.
Let's
see what changed. Over here, the water flows. The water. I never thought we'd bring life back to these parched canyons. We may access more of the crater, but more importantly, life will return. You've done something good today, Kratos.
Yes.
I don't think he's used to receiving compliments, Your Majesty. With the water flowing and new paths open to us, I say we go for a stroll.
We will search, not stroll.
Oh, come off it. You've never enjoyed nature for its own sake?
Not
just for the treasure you might find?
In fact, some would say the landscape is the treasure.
Yes, some would.
Looks like our good deed has already brought back some wildlife. Suppose I spoke too soon.
It flew to that structure. There must be a way up. Now that the water flows freely, new parts of the crater should be open to us. So let me see if I understand. We're expected to find someone to relieve Hrasfelger and become Hell? Not exactly an office many would wish to occupy.
Aye. terrible weather, infinite hours, and the possibility of unleashing terrible mischief on the realms if they're careless. Or worse, if they aren't completely trustworthy.
But if she were to leave without a replacement?
Complete chaos, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I asked.
Jak se dostat tam. Tu musím jít. Takže musíme jít.
No doubt about it. Just like a frozen lightning bolt in Midgard.
Yes, I have never been here. Curious.
Time to move! By God, what was that?
Tremors. From the earth. Or something else.
In all my years in Vanaheim, there was never a natural tremor like that.
Something is causing this. Here. You may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest. One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Distractions.
Aye, women, drink, mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly.
Enough. We will continue later.
It's that dragon again!
No, a different one.
Still won't be dead.
It's blocking the path. We need to be rid of it. Be careful.
Break it! Like these...
Another dragon. We've pushed it back. We must finish the job.
Another gathering of Sather.
You know what you have to do, brother? Release them. Back to my story. The Enlightenment-seeking laird and his followers swore off women and drink for an entire summer. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair as any they'd left behind. She pleads for their assistance for fear the currents would carry her off if she tried to cross. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother. And we'll just stop there for now.
A gravestone. Another was...
Hold that thought. I think it's about to get violent.
Já si předvedeš nekombinovat, jo. Teď jdeme kombinovat, jo, jako to. Tak si na své. Zkombinovat nebudu. Ty hajzle, jeden. Jsem jo. Zde si tam byla. Nevzej, proč ti to na mě? Jelní hlavo. Ne? Myslím, to je dobrý. To zrušíme hajzle? Nová? Ahoj. Tak pojď. Tak pojď ještě jednou. Tak je tam. Bang. Tam.
Only the king remains.
Aye, and if you thought his berserkers were tough, well, I've been thinking about what you said, brother. Maybe it's time to let this go. Slurping up a dead man's soul with this old sword isn't going to change the past.
It is good to hear you say that, but I plan to face him regardless.
What? After all your lecturing on vengeance and spite?
It is not wise to let a malevolence...
Tak. Máme hotové poslední dva. Čiko se zabil. Je tohle? Přesně mám to. Čiko jsem zabil. Tuhle, ne, to jsem zabil. Tuhle jsem zabil. Tuhle jsem zabil. A to je Vousatýho sráče. Tak. Tohle je podešit. Máš ty přesně. Takže mě klesování a brzy příště k dokončování Ragnarok, dokončování vedlejších úkolů a zabíjení krále na večer. Vysněte, zatím čau.